Victoria wasn't a great enthusiast of racing. She didn't attend any running of Royal Ascot for the final 40 years of her reign, following the death of her beloved husband, Prince Albert, in 1861. It was her son, the future King Edward VII, who would play an integral role not only in continuing the tradition of the royal procession, but also in taking the involvement of the royal family in racing to a new level. He defied his mother by having his own string of horses. He established a royal stud at Sandringham, which continues to this day, and from where he bred 2 Derby winners. And he created the famous royal silks of purple with gold braid and scarlet sleeves, now recognised worldwide and worn by horses owned by Queen Elizabeth II and by the current King and Queen. If one figure came to define the modern royal procession, it was Queen Elizabeth II. Her bond with Ascot and the sport wasn't just ceremonial, it was deeply personal.
Everybody knew that that was her real passion, racing. It's that that also makes Ascot really very extraordinary.
Unbelievably knowledgeable for somebody who had as much on her plate as she had.
Upon her accession to the throne, she inherited the responsibility of overseeing the running of Ascot. It was a role that she treasured, and under her stewardship, the royal meeting went from strength to strength, with the royal procession at its heart. Black and white footage shows a young Elizabeth attending her very first Royal Ascot as Queen, the start of a special relationship that would span 70 years. And although her reign was a time of great change, the royal procession remained a constant, mirroring the original format established by King George IV.
It is what has been described as a private engagement in a public setting for the royal family. The combination of private and public does make it quite unique, and I think that's another reason why it is so powerful. There have been occasions in the past when state occasions have made it impossible to have a royal procession. In 2001, there was a state opening of Parliament, which meant that all the horses that are obviously critical to the royal procession were in London for the state opening, so there was no royal procession on Tuesday and Wednesday that year. In 2004 was the major redevelopment of Ascot Racecourse. It was completed just before the royal meeting in 2006. The view was that in 2005 a royal meeting should take place.
For the first time in nearly 300 years, Royal Ascot has moved up north from Berkshire to Yorkshire.
Royal Ascot at York happened with as much of the experience as possible, and that included a royal procession. And then more recently, in 2017, Her late Majesty gave the Queen's speech in Parliament.
The Queen commands to attend Her Majesty immediately in the House of Peers.
Yeah, get your skates on. First race is 2:30.
So, showing full commitment to the success of Ascot races, Her late Majesty took a helicopter, I think, from London and was able to reach Windsor in time to join a carriage procession which came through Golden Gates bang on time at 2 o'clock.
So the runners are making their way now right down to the Golden Gates.
About to challenge Catalina Del Carpio on the outside. Garden of Eden, Serenity Prayer has a chance. Also picking it down is Lady Vivian. Life is beautiful. Switches towards the inside. It is Garden of Eden now takes the lead with just over a furlong to go. Trying to rally towards the inside. Catalina Del Carpio, and down the outside is Understudy, but it is Garden of Eden who has a lead, extending down to 3 lengths and driven out towards the line. Garden of Eden takes Ribblesdale to Understudy in second. In third, Catalina Del Carpio, tight for fourth. Go-Go Boot staying on the outside of Life is Beautiful, and then Serenity Prayer. The 7-1 winner is Garden of Eden, who has given Aidan O'Brien an outright 6th win in the Ribblesdale. That is now an outright record, and it's also a 6th win in the race for Ryan Moore. Coming from some way back is Understudy in second. Another big run by a Gosford runner on the inside. In third is Catalina Del Carpio, and every chance at the full-and-a-half point. And the 4th place nod goes to the Go-Go Boot, who stayed on
Both heroes for Aidan O'Brien, who moves within 5 of that century. He goes level with the Gosdens, 4 winners at Royal Ascot 2025. The first non-2-year-old.
Little tidbits along the way, Mike. You just message me whatever. Not that I've got your number, I might not answer it, but if I did have it, I would answer it, and, you know, I'll fill you in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Saxon Warrior Osprey, I mean, she's actually improved quite a bundle there. I don't think it was the greatest Whippersdale of all time, but she's done it really nicely.
Yeah, she has. Listen, she wasn't one that you set your stall out for. It was a pleasant surprise. Simple as that.
And we've got the Ascot Gold Cup coming up, which is the big race of the meeting. You have farmed it in recent years, both of course with Yates, but more recently Kyprios. Illinois is meant to be the new kid on the block, but he's very easy to back. And you know betting as well as anyone on this racetrack. How do you feel about him being nearly 3-1?
I'll put it to you this way. The markets these days never surprise me. Very difficult to guess them out. I can only assume that there's no money for Illinois today so far. And that's why he's drifted, because they expect money for our horses, and when the money doesn't appear, they just drift and drift and drift. Simple as that.
Would you be tempted to play now, Michael? If you could find somewhere to get on, would you be tempted to play now?
Well, you can get on at Ascot.
And would you be tempted to play now, Michael?
You know, a good friend to me said to me many years ago, I can avoid anything but temptation.
or me, to be quite frank. You're stuck with me for the time being. Always lovely to speak to you.
Lovely to speak to you.
Okay.
Soil. He's now ridden 2,594 winners and goes one ahead of the great Edward Hyde. And he is closing in on Lester Piggott's almighty figure of 116 at Royal Ascot. Winners as we go to Mark and Charlotte.
Now, of course, it's all about the hats today, isn't it, for Ladies' Day? And we've seen some beauties out there, haven't we?
Honestly, spectacular numbers.
And we are right here encouraging the milliners of the future, because the King's Foundation have a millinery fellowship, and we have the winner of that prize here. They've won a bursary, they've won a training programme, haven't they? They're going to be making hats for the stars.
Here she is, Emily Hurst, everyone. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Oh gosh, I'm a bit shocked still, to be honest. You know, it means the absolute world. It'd be so instrumental to my setting up my career, and yeah, I'm truly honoured.
You're wearing straw shirt. This was part of your creative.
Yes.
It was basically straw work, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I wanted my whole collection. My passion is about the heritage craft, straw work and plaiting. So my whole collection is based around that sort of, you know, idea that straw can be used as a heritage material, but also bring it up to the world of modern fashion.
You have done that. You have done that.
Absolutely stunning.
Very
We've got
clever.
Daniel McAuliffe here from the King's Foundation. I mean, this is so important, isn't it? Because it's such a specialist craft to be able to encourage the young milliners of the future.
Yeah, we're so delighted with our graduates from our first Chanel and the 19M collaboration on this project. They've just absolutely been amazing. The work is so exciting, and there's so much skill and talent evident.
Well done to you for encouraging the stars of the future like this. It's going to be amazing.
Emily you did your work experience with one of them, Lisa Tan. Firstly, how was she? Was she alright?
She was terrible. No! I cannot speak highly enough of Emily, and I wish I had her for longer, to be honest with you, because she was wonderful.
How was it under Lisa's tutorship then?
Oh, she is an absolutely incredible milliner and teacher, and I just had the absolute best time with her, introducing me to new materials, and yeah.
Even though I made you work with Cinema the entire time.
So did you get, Lisa, for you, what is it like going around Ascot on a day like today, when you know your creations are out there? You must be spotting them everywhere.
It's so exciting. Every time I see one of my hats in the wild, it's a really exciting thing, especially when you don't know what days they're going to wear it with, and then the ones that come out of the woodwork after 10 years ago you made them and you see them and they're pristine. It's wonderful to know that people are still loving them.
Well, now I've got to say, Stephen Jones, the milliner to the stars. Yes. It is lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. And millinery is it's kind of unique, isn't it, to the UK, in the sense that we love wearing a hat, don't we?
Absolutely, and that was really from Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen, and she believed in a hat to be worn every day, and especially for Ascot. And because of that, hats go around the world, whether they're in Melbourne or Dubai. Hats, Ascot racing and Britain. Hats are seen around the world as something completely British. I don't know if we see it like that, but the world does.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? I love a good hat, I have to say, and it's so great that the milliners of the future are being encouraged here, and you know, hats off to the hat.
Front three at Candelari, and old Sweet Williams hit his flat spot, being cajoled along in second place. Trawlerman's beginning to up the ante. Illinois on the outside of Sweet William, who's being ridden. At this stage, Candelari has work to do to get on terms with the front threes, 5 lengths back as they spin the bend. Trawlerman has dictated the Gold Cup. Sweet William, Illinois still being held on to by Ryan Moore as they turn for home. 3 furlongs to travel, and Trawlerman kicks for home. Illinois on the outside of Sweet William, then from the back Dubai Future running on. Trawlerman being asked for everything. Illinois is 3 lengths back. Sweet William, Dubai Future continues to stay on. A furlong and a half to go in the Gold Cup. Trawlerman trying to run the finish out of Illinois. Dubai Future has gone back into third, but slowly but surely Trawlerman moves away in the Gold Cup. 5 lengths back to Illinois and Dubai Future. Sweet William has no more to give, and Trawlerman will win the Gold Cup for William Buick, John and Brady Gosden and Godolphin. Second last year, wins it this. Illinois second, Dubai Future, Sweet William, Coltrane, Candelari, trailing all the way back, virtually pulled up, but perfectly okay. Yashin and Wonder Legend. Trawlerman has been such an honest stayer, and he wins the big race of the week. He did floor Kiprios once in his career, but generally in the big races it's Kiprios who had held sway. But with Kiprios out of the way, he turned away Illinois and did so in style. He makes every single yard to win the Gold Cup from Illinois at 1-3 Godolphin for Dubai Future. Train continues, feature races to John and Brady Gosden.
What a ride, William Buick from the front, Jason Weezer. Not the catch
amount of stamina that you need for this, wasn't it? And he's relentless. You know, once the other reserves up into the red zone, the writer was on the wall for Illinois, and guts and determination kept him going. But this lad was actually hitting the line.
And like Adele said, it's so nice to see this horse get his big win. He's been battling.
Jane, here's Jane, here's Jane. She stands golden horn. She is fantastic.
Stays well-timed ride from William Buick.
Yeah, he got it absolutely right. Now be paraded in front of the stands. He went off the 85-40 favourite for the Goldstons. There they are. Cool as you like. Cool as you like, John. You've just won a 5th Gold Cup with Rachel, his wife, there. Illinois second at 9-4. Dubai Future was the big price horse to run on into third in the white cap.
He raced improver Chelmsford, managed to make all. It was a big field, but obviously dropping in a much bigger competitive field, and yeah, he held on by the skin of his teeth.
Well, Fancy Labot needed what, another 3 or 4 yards?
Another stride. Just another stride.
Others to fill the places. It looked like Fear Not was third, I think. Dividend fourth. Again, well, drawn 28-27 as well. So very much they're drawn hard up against the stands round.
Real World is the horse you were thinking
Bolted up.
about. Yes,
Absolutely bolted up.
Real World in the Royal Hunt Cup. He went and bolted up. You're absolutely right. There we go. On for the team.
VJ Kanan, then up parading the story today, and it might be a saddle cloth. Do you get saddle cloth for 40 Royal Ascot winners? We're about to find out. Thumbs up. Big 4-0 for Saeed bin Saror at the Royal meeting over such a long period of time. And well done Tipping Tom on the opening show this morning. Trawlerman and Arabian Story tipped up on the opening show. Tom, well done, sir. Winning at 15-2. Labot Fast finishing second at 7. Fear Not third at 12. Dividend 50-1. And there are so many big prices in these big fields. Supido was 5th at 100-1. I'll try and get you 6th and 7th if I can, with the bookmakers paying so many places. Another winner of the week for Asheen Murphy. First I feel a little bit sorry for is Charlie Appleby watching this. Godolphin winning these races. The Goldstons, and this time for Saeed bin Saror. Maybe his luck will change over the next couple of days. Longevity for Saeed. I mean, Royal Ascot.
That's remarkable. 40 winners for the team. But you know how many winners he's had this year? That is his third winner total for the current campaign.
Yeah,
from
but
just a handful of runners.
Yeah, how many runners? That's
Nothing. 17, 18, 19
he's-
runners, something like
He's
that.
had horses placed in classics. He's had third in the Gold Cup, and now he's had a winner, which I'm sure she enjoyed.
Yes, and Saeed is actually here to lead in the horse. Well done, Saeed, but I'm going to talk to Oisin now and leave you to Matt Chapman. That sounds like much more of a reward for you for winning the Britannia. Oisin, talk us through the race, because obviously it started to get tight in the closing stages.
Yeah, Saeed told me a couple of weeks ago that I should go to Chelmsford to ride him in a novice. He said he has a very nice horse, and after the race,
Well, I don't think he likes the mic. I'll tell you what, you hold the mic and you talk us through it.
after his novice win at Chelmsford, Saeed said, how good is he? And I said, I like him. And he said, let's go to the Britannia. So this plan was a long time coming, and the horse was perfect, and I'm delighted to win.
Tell us about what it's like to ride a winner for this guy.
We've had many, and I'm over the moon, Richard.
Well done, Oisin, thank you.
We've had a couple of firsts today. I've never seen a photograph taken in the royal procession earlier. Did you see that? Marchioness of Salisbury got her phone out in carriage one and took a photo.
Why not?
It was so funny. It was so funny. I'm not sure where that sits in royal protocol. And we've now had a jockey doing his own interview with a microphone.
Well, not every jockey you could do that with. But clearly the horse is going to get stirred up, and Rishi did the right thing, but popping a microphone out, handing it to him. And Oisin's so good like that, isn't he? He's so good at chatting to us, and he's so good at reading a race. He knows his horse's pedigrees inside out, and he can really read a race. I did a preview with him for Royal Ascot, and became a bit of a one-man show because he just spun us through every horse and every race, and giving the chances, the horses that had less.
A lot of people want to say, well done, Saeed. So let's confirm the result of the Britannia. Still trying to get you 6th and 7th. This is quite a punch finish. We're still working that out.
Now you can say the best jockey in the world. He's different class too. Jockey. He's 3 times champion jockey in Britain, and always he rides the horses really as a top class jockey.
How are things for you, Saeed? Because it's very different times. As I say, when I reel out all those statistics, you would think that Sheikh Mohammed will be chucking as many horses as he could at you. I mean, your statistics are there. How difficult is it for you to have such a smaller stable right now?
Well, I used to have 250 horses in the past, and quality. But now we have around 30 horses in the stable. Majority of them, they are old, and the young one is still backward, and not even one of them run. But you see, the Dubai Future is 9-year-old, still trying hard. He won in the Dubai 2 races. He come to finish 30 in the World Cup. It is, we try with the best, what we have in the stable.
You love it as much as ever?
Always.
And you've got Tornado Alert, who's a really good, promising horse, 4th in the Guineas, 6th in the Derby. He'd have every chance.
He's doing good. As mile quarter, I think the best for him. He's he can stay a mile and a half, but a mile quarter. And he ran in the right race. I hope he stay in nice position. Then we take his chance, but so far he's working well.
Si, would you just look in the camera and give us your very best easy money?
Easy money, thank you.
What a good sport. Well done, Si.
I've been planning this for about 10 months altogether.
That is what I love.
And these ladies are the Super 6. Where's the winner so far? You've had a winner, haven't you?
Yes, I have £80 on merchant.
Doing well already. I think the luck's here,
I've got to
isn't
say,
it?
I'm loving this as well. The pink, isn't it? It's a pink. It's a big story of the day.
We're off to join the party.
See you later.
The heat has been...
Not about going from 1st all the way to 5th and immediately going with your Procus. He's gathering up. He still hasn't even got down in the saddle. So he knows that he's still got 3rd, 4th and 5th to go through. And possibly about now he gives him one reminder. And I think that was enough to continue the run up through the line. Tremendous.
He is a master. No two ways about it. Well done, Saeed bin Saror there. Tornado Alert. Finishing in 2nd. He had the 3rd in the Gold Cup. He won the Britannia. Saeed's got his horses running really well. MV looks like he's organising the photograph with Paul Smith, whose colours those are. Sid Ledger winning colours, aren't they? Kingston Hill, was it? Let's confirm the result from the Hampton course before we move to ITV4 shortly. If you want the final race.
What people watching?
Yeah, you're in a good spot for that here.
Yeah, exactly. So we come and we just love the atmosphere. I'm meeting next friend.
You all look lovely as well. I'm very envious. Your dress is amazing. And is there something you think Ascot can do to improve the customer experience? Do you think they get it pretty much spot on?
On it. If there are any complaints or anything, there's always somebody come to like help us and make things right for us. They've been really fantastic.
That is really, really good to hear.
Come on.
I'm going to come round. I'm going to come round. You're all the way from Jamaica. Have you flown in for this?
No.
I can see the Jamaican badge there.
I'm flying my Jamaican.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is racing big in the Caribbean? I know that Barbados have a racetrack. Does Jamaica have a racetrack as well?
We've got Cayman and Spark.
Oh, fantastic. You've been racing there?
No.
We'll stick to Ascot. This is the one to do.
I come here every year.
Amazing.
For the sing-song and all of it.
Yeah, well, we'll be doing the sing-song later on, so I'm sorry in advance for the poor singing.
I'll be joining.
We'll have a sing-song together. Lovely to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying the day.
Cheers.